How's it going, everybody? Ragiroth here. So I want to do a video talking about a certain guest character that is most likely going to be DLC at this point. And you've probably heard him on my channel a lot, and he goes by the name of Spawn. I mean, there's been multiple rumors, with like Todd McFarlane saying he's going to be in the game, being really requested in Justice 2, McFarlane Toys making toys for MK11, and him now being found in the files of the game itself. I think some even intros were found with him. And I actually have a guest today. He's been on my show a couple times. It's, I guess, Still DrAssGoblin? Okay. We got Still DrAssGoblin here. Want to say hi?
Hey, what's up, everyone? How you doing?
He's been on my show a couple times. I think the last time it was the top 10 outfits we wanted to see in the Spider-Man game. So yeah, we just got, so Spawn is a very, I guess, he's a very divisive character, I've noticed. A lot of people don't like him either because he's very 90s. Like, people think, oh, he should just be left in the 90s, blah blah blah, or like, they just don't think he's relevant anymore, and just like things like that. And look, we can't really change your mind on the character. If you don't like him, you don't like him. But I have seen some people, not that many people, say that he's just kind of either a poor man's Venom, or he would just play just like Scorpion, and that's what I kind of have to disagree with you on.
I suppose it would be easy to make him a clone of Scorpion, but the part of the appeal of Spawn is that he can do literally anything. And having him in a game like Mortal Kombat, especially with the way they can do it now with the different variations and whatnot, and especially with the gear fluctuations, there's really a lot you can do. So to say that you can only clone him of another character is wildly inaccurate.
Now, like, there are definitely similarities between Spawn and Scorpion. Like, alright, okay, so they're both like these guys that were like some kind of assassin or whatever, they were alive and living, and they were killed. They had a family and all. They were killed and sent to hell, and they were brought back more powerful, with vengeance and all that. They both use kind of some form of chains. They're both these kind of masked specter, like I guess, beings. And they were both actually created very early 90s. I think it might have been the same year, maybe 1992, I think. So yes, there is definitely similarities, but that's kind of where it ends. Spawn, like, Scorpion is kind of mostly associated with, like, spears, fire, and stuff like that. Spawn can do that, but he can do a lot of things. He has, like, this, I guess, he has that, cape. And that cape, I think, can basically turn into anything. And, like, when he uses chains, Scorpion kind of uses them as a weapon. When Spawn uses them, it's kind of more of, it's like a part of him. Like, Spawn is probably more, when Spawn uses chains, it's probably more like when Cetrion, or I guess even possibly Sindel, uses their hair. Like how Cetrion is like the one combo where, like, her hair kind of goes into the ground and kind of then digs the opponent from underneath. That's probably more like Spawn, if anything, not
like more of a natural extension of his body than like an actual weapon.
Yeah, it's definitely more. It's definitely not just like kind of a weapon. And, like, the thing is, like I said, he can kind of turn into anything. The part of the problem is that, as much as I love the character, one of the problems I think with some of his comics and stuff is, like, his powers were kind of just used to solve whatever problem he had going on. I guess they were kind of a Deus Ex Machina kind of thing. I think it also didn't help that Al Simmons, the character, the person we mostly know as Spawn. I know there's other people that have had the Spawn symbiote before. He isn't the most creative, I guess, person. He's kind of like Hal Jordan for the Green Lanterns. The funny thing is, I actually think Spawn is kind of an amalgamation of multiple heroes. He's kind of like, he's got the Dark Knight whole thing going on with Batman. He has kind of the vengeance thing from hell thing that, like, in chains, like Ghost Rider. He has kind of the power source and kind of black and green theme that Green Lantern has going on.
He's very venomish too.
Oh, yes, and of course, his thing is kind of a symbiote, and that's actually because Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn, he actually is the co-creator of Venom. However, he left Marvel because he wanted to. He didn't like, I guess, kind of executives breathing down his back, telling him what to do. So he's like, screw that. I'm gonna make my own my own company, and have my own character.
And if you look at the comics too, you can see the art style's really similar to, like, the way their facial expressions are when they're screaming or they're in pain. It looks like very similar if you look at Eddie Brock and you look at Al Simmons. So yeah, you can see very similarities between those two too.
Yeah, I think it was definitely. I feel like you could probably look at like the Spawn comics and kind of compare them to kind of when Venom first started appearing. So yeah, Spawn is kind of an amalgamation of things. I'd say he's not really a clear-cut clone of one, I guess, hero or one character. And I guess in a way it's funny because I mentioned Cetrion. I know people kind of complain with Cetrion that she's kind of just an amalgamation of other characters from Mortal Kombat with the elements and stuff. And I mean, I don't really mind amalgamation characters. I mean, I don't really like when characters are just kind of flat out copy pasted, but if they're kind of mixed of other things, I don't really mind.
I thought they did her design pretty cool, but
people say that like her moves, it's her moves that people have an issue with.
Okay.
Yeah, I think people generally are cool with her, but everyone says, "Oh, she's too injustice-y." It's like, okay, it's made by the same company, and and she's not like a demon from hell or something.
Don't want one game intertwining with the other. I guess they just want Mortal Kombat to be Mortal Kombat, not have any sliver of injustice in their game. I don't know. I feel like if you like one, you like the other. But
I think that, well, the thing is, like they use a lot of similar assets. I think with Cetrion, people are saying is that like it's more apparent than ever with her. And I guess so all right, let's talk about some of the stuff Spawn can do. So Al Simmons is I think he was like a CIA, like assassin spy.
some kind of operative. I don't know.
So like, he knows I think a bunch of martial arts. I mean, obviously I know that's not that exciting because it's like a bunch of characters. Mortal Kombat, no martial arts.
I guess that's like the minimum of something.
It's the minimum. Technically, some characters don't even. Like Aaron Black knows no martial arts. I don't know if Kano does. So he's got that. Then he uses a bunch of guns, and he uses guns before and after he becomes Spawn. So that's something Spawn could do that Scorpion definitely does not do.
But here's the thing with Spawn too is he's an expert with firearms. He doesn't just use the guns. That's one of his trademark abilities. And if you look at a lot of the things he was in, even the movie, like he was an operative or assassin or whatever before he became Spawn. So he was trained heavily with weapons. Like that in itself differentiates him from Scorpion.
So he's got that. Then of course he can teleport, and we also mentioned that his cape can basically turn into anything. I know we haven't seen it turn into anything that crazy in the past, but I mean in Soul Calibur 2, the reason he didn't have the cape and he had this axe is that that axe actually was the cape basically. He had that and the game that followed shortly, Spawn Armageddon. So you could always use that. They could always reference that. And the thing is, I know a lot of people knock on the movie. There were a lot of crazy things I remember he kind of the cape turned into. And it probably looks so much better now than it did back then.
You can do a lot with that, especially if you can turn it. If you can change it into a weapon, there's a lot you can do with that.
We don't really know how creative they can be and the limits of what they're able to work with him. I mean, it depends on what Todd McFarlane allows to happen. But I mean, and he could always mix and match the chains with the guns and stuff. Like I said, I think the way he'd use the chains are way different. He could use probably all these energy blasts like necroplasms and all that.
Let's not forget too, he pretty much has the powers of hell. He can resurrect. He can breathe fire. He can do a lot of what Scorpion does, but he still has more of the human element where Scorpion doesn't. So, I don't know. Like you said, the
funny thing is Scorpion's probably more of he's probably more of a human now than Spawn is. But I see.
You know where I'm coming from with that one. It's there was when you look at Scorpion, you don't really think of Scorpion. You just think of Scorpion. You don't think of who he was before. Which
that's true.
I don't know.
But they could come up with a bunch of things that maybe they never got to really use in the comics. I mean, okay, maybe within reason, not him turning his cape into a horse or an elephant or something.
Man, I was hoping for Dumbo Spawn. Man,
I know we all were. I mean, I don't know, maybe he can, but I don't think he can. I guess anything that's maybe like an object. I'm not sure about living things. I guess the thing is, it's maybe individually a bunch of his powers aren't anything super unique that no one in Mortal Kombat can do. But I feel like mixed together, it's a pretty... because I feel like a lot of the guest characters in Mortal Kombat, not to hate on any of them, a lot of them are a lot more one note in what they can do. But I feel like Spawn has a way bigger variety of what he can do. And that's one reason I've always kind of wanted him more than a lot of the guest characters they've got. Not to hate on Predator or Jason or anything like that. So yeah, I think there's just a lot of variety stuff. And I think you know, like, yeah, if you're kind of wondering, like, well, you know, would he be allowed to do things that he's never done before in the comics or movies or TV show or whatever? And the thing is, it's like, maybe, because think about Alien in Mortal Kombat X. I mean, Alien friggin' was a Tarkatan hybrid from Baraka. And, like, that never happened in an Alien movie.
Yeah, and that's one of the things is when you put a movie character or another franchise in the world of Mortal Kombat, you have the ability to expand the lore, which is really cool. If you don't know already, I'm a huge Alien fan. I love the first movie. I love the second movie. Won't get into some of the other films because otherwise I'm gonna have to beat you up. Yeah, we've never seen that kind of Alien before, and if you notice, every time a new Alien movie comes out or a new Alien game comes out, we usually get a new breed. They usually introduce something new, and it was not something I was expecting out of Mortal Kombat because it's not an Alien game. So when they kind of fused him with the Tarkatan and gave him the wrist spikes. That's cool, and you can do that with anything. If you're going to do that with Alien, you can do that with Spawn. So you can give him other things to do, especially since he has already the innate ability to customize himself into whatever the hell he wants. Literally speaking, whatever the hell he wants.
And, like, yeah, like, maybe biologically, I guess the whole Tarkatan thing with Alien was canon, but it still never happened in the movies. So it's like, you know, they could always do something with Spawn that is, I guess, biologically, if you want to call it biologically, is canon with him. He just never really done before.
Well, let's not forget too. He can regenerate himself. So like his body can already do things that can morph.
He's pretty
itself.
hard to kill, yeah.
Yeah. So like, imagine like interacting with some of these other characters, what he can change himself into. So there's really a lot that he can do.
Yeah, he might be able to pull like some Shang Tsung elements off. I mean, you know, we're not really sure if, you know, what the whole deal with Shang Tsung morphing yet is going to be, or if he'll even be able to. We haven't seen what he's going to be like in MK11 yet. That's about it. We might have another video talking about like this, you know, what Spawn can do before, you know, I guess, provided, you know, he's really in the game before he gets, you know, shown off.
I know this is kind of getting ahead of things a little bit, but I mean, if you see the word Spawn in a Mortal Kombat code, you're gonna get a little hyped up if you like Spawn. So.
Yeah, I mean, because literally he hasn't been in a video game in like, I think, it's been like 15 or 16 years. Like I always say, like how it's been a long time since I've been able to play as like Fujin or Frost or something, but like it's been even longer for him. So yeah. You know, we're pretty excited about it. You know, like I said, I might do another video talking about the stuff with Spawn before he gets confirmed, whatever. You know, we really don't know what the deal is with the DLC, so that's kind of why, you know, we're kind of jumping the gun a little bit here. So yeah, I guess, do you got anything to add, DrAssGoblin?
No, I mean, like I said, I am interested to see what they're going to do with him, what design he might have. This, like I said, this is assuming he's in the game, which it looks more to be in the direction
looking good.
That he's he's going
if
to.
there was ever a time, this is it.
But addressing the issue of whether he's going to be an exact clone of Scorpion, no. The appeal of Spawn is that he's able to do so much. He's able to modify himself and his abilities so much. He can control, that's another thing we didn't mention, that he can actually, there's moments in the comics where he can control the environment. He can do other things environmentally, not just biologically. I mean, there's so much you can do with him that you couldn't do with Scorpion. That I think that's just not clear-cut way to just dismiss him as saying, oh, we don't want him in the game because of that. This is a really good news. Even if you like Scorpion, this is even better news because the things you like about Scorpion, Spawn can do them even better.
Or Noob Saibot.
Or Noob Saibot.
Oh, and by the way, no, he would not be a clone of Noob Saibot either. He's probably even less like he aesthetically looks more like Noob Saibot, but no, he's even less ability like him than Noob Saibot.
Noob Saibot's in his own kind of world. I mean, there's not really a character that's like Noob Saibot in at least in Mortal Kombat 11. Not that I've seen.
Yeah, I mean Johnny is like the stunt double things, but that's about it. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much, DrAssGoblin, for talking to me about our boy Spawn. Don't forget to check out my friend Mark Kuhn in the description below. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below if you think any of this makes sense. And like I said, if you don't like Spawn, you don't like him. You know, if you don't like guest characters, you don't like guest characters. Whatever. I can't change your mind there. We can't change your mind. But like, if you're gonna think he's gonna be, if he's gonna be a rip off of another character in the game, you know, we're just trying to tell you, you know, maybe keep an open mind, and that, you know, he most likely won't be. So that shouldn't be a concern.
And this is good news, is what we're trying to say. This is very good news.
Pretty much, yeah. So as I always say, another time, another place. Keep being awesome.